What's going on, guys? GoofyRhexxi here. Hope everybody is doing well, and welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 90. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, as usual, we have lots of stuff to cover here on the weekly headliner update. The first thing we're going to be going through is obviously patch 6.5 preview, right? What's going to be upcoming this week? What should you prepare for as we sort of approach that patch, which is probably going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday sometime this week. We also have two new events that are going to be going live this week as well. One for Zombie Iron Man, which you're going to want to pay attention to, so we're going to preview that a little bit. And also another event for Future Shock, which is going to be called Midnight Haunt. We're going to be going through the math for that event to make sure that you are prepared and know what you need to do in order to be able to complete that, or at least get the main piece that you do need from that event. And of course, going to review some of the stuff that happened last week here. We had a preview of the rest of 2022 and basically kind of 2023. Some milestone orbs went through. There's a lot of stuff to cover from last week, guys, so we're going to be going through that as well here on the weekly headliner update. If you're ready for it, we're going to start right now. All right, welcome back, guys. And like I said, a lot of stuff to cover here on the weekly headliner update. The first thing I want to talk about, let's talk about the patch 6.5. What's coming up this week, right? Let's do a little bit of a preview here. We got this in-game mail last week, which talked about 4 new playable characters, new event campaign, more costumes, campaign updates, and more. We know so far who 3 of those new playable characters are going to be. We're going to talk about that here really quick and just do a quick summary rundown of that. The new event campaign looks like the new event campaign is going to look a little bit different here. It's going to be for Zombie Iron Man, but we'll talk about that here in this video. Campaign updates, things like that. Let's actually dive right on into it, right? So first and foremost, one of those new characters going to be coming is going to be Zombie Iron Man. He's going to be a part of a 2-person war offense team here called the Undying Team with Hela. Now, as a reminder, Hela is getting a rework here. We're not going to go through her kit, but just go through her stats really quickly, which I think are pretty good. Like her stat reworks here, she's getting an increase 80% to her health, increase 16% damage, increase 50% armor. Her focus is increased by 62%. I think this is probably the most important one because of her ultimate ability where she can spread those negative effects. This is probably the one that I'm the most excited about or most pleased with because of those negative effects that she can spread. And of course, the resistance also going up by 39%. I think is pretty good too. But Iron Man Zombie, really cool looking character here. Very interesting kit, I should say. One of the highlights is, of course, his ability to be able to take advantage of enemy characters that do have bleed here. So in his passive ability, when an enemy attacks, takes damage from bleed, mind control that character to attack the most injured enemy, right? This is going to be a pretty big one. And a lot of players are already trying to theory craft and think, okay, who can we team up Iron Man Zombie with, Hela with, that applies a lot of bleeds, right? So Tangled Web has been a team that's been mentioned so far. I made a joke and talked about the symbiote team, which, to be fair, like, hey, maybe there might be a place to be able to use those characters, use symbiotes. They're out of the meta, but a lot of players have probably built them up already, and the symbiotes do specialize in applying bleed, so maybe throwing them in with Hela and then also Zombie Iron Man may be a good direction to go in. So either way, looking forward to Zombie Iron Man coming to MSF here. That should be pretty cool. Some other things too, like he prevents, if he's above 50% health, he'll prevent himself and other allies from being stunned. Also prevents enemies from getting death proof if he's above 50% health. So could be a really useful character here in war offense. Now, 2 other new characters that we do know are also coming to Marvel Strike Force as well are going to be Black Panther, M1MM, and then also Nakia. We got this information in the blog post last week. They're going to be a part of a War Dog team. The War Dog team, these characters are also still going to have the Wakandan tag, and they're all going to be teaming up with 3 Wakandans that are already in the game here as well. Shuri, Black Panther, and Okoye. Black Panther 1MM looks really, really cool. I'll be honest with you here. Just from a kit perspective, though. And then we also kind of got a little bit of a preview as to what they will look like in the game as well. But possesses high damage, as they mentioned here. One of the things that's really interesting about his kit is his ultimate ability here, where if the primary target has Safeguard, he'll apply Safeguard for 2 turns to self and all War Dog allies. He can also spread all positive effects there. So I'm curious. there has to be a reason why the safeguard was mentioned, right? I'm curious to see if this team is going to be able to beat the likes of Darkhold, right? Like, gotta be. That has to be a reason why this safeguard was mentioned. If that's the case, then they definitely may be a team that you're probably going to want to try to go after. I know a lot of people are going to probably want to invest into the War Dogs team anyways, simply for Wakanda Forever, which I don't blame you. This is probably going to be one of my passion project teams here that I'm going to be building out with this War Dog team. But yeah, Black Panther, that looks really cool what he can do here with Safeguard. And then you have Nakia. So Nakia looks pretty dope as well. She has this, I think she's probably my favorite of the two right now, based on just what her kit can do here. So she has this stealth mechanic with her ultimate here, where she can rebound chain to +1 adjacent targets per stealth on this character. There's a few different ways that she can gain stealth. Also with her passive ability, this is gonna be really good, right? Like, while charge on any enemy or War Dog ally's turn, she'll attack the most injured enemy for 100% piercing, but in war, she actually attacks for 350% piercing instead. So any enemy or any War Dog character, as long as she has charge, she's going to be doing this 350% piercing damage. And there's a lot of ways that she can get charged. Number one, she's going to start off with 5 herself, because she's gaining 1 charge and then 1 per War Dog ally. So that's going to be 5 out of the gate. She can also get additional charges as well from Shuri when she does her special. She can also gain charges from Black Panther, 1 MM as well. There's a lot of ways that she can gain charges here, and that could be a lot of damage that she's doing. So, and piercing damage, she's doing that too, right? So that means that it's bypassing armor. So this could be really interesting. She can also generate ability energy too with her special. Generate 1 ability energy for all adjacent War Dog allies with her special too. So could be really interesting here, guys. I think that she's going to be a pretty powerful character, I think, on War Offense. Now, the question is going to be, though, should you build the Wakandans? That's kind of a question, and I don't think a lot of us have the answer to that yet, right? If you've already built up M'Baku, if you haven't built up M'Baku or Killmonger, should you still use them for Cosmic Crucible and then build out this war team? I don't know. The jury's still out. I think I'm probably going to go in the direction of building out the new characters and then building out Black Panther or Okoye. Shuri's already built for me, and then go in that direction. This team, we also know now, is going to be the second team that's going to be needed for the Death Scourge event. So that's also something to consider as well, as we sort of kind of move forward. So kind of, and like I said, I mean, although these 2 new characters aren't Cosmic Crucible characters, they can still work with 3 other characters that are Cosmic Crucible characters. So I feel like they're kind of a 2-purpose team that you can use. And if you build them out too, you can also use them in gamma raids, right? So jury's still out. Hopefully they're going to be pretty powerful and strong here. That safeguard mechanic makes me feel like they might be able to beat Darkhold. We'll have to see how that works out. And then we also had some data mines, right? Where we know that we're thinking the 4th character, or from what we understand, is that it's going to be Dark Beast, which is going to be a part of this Dead Sea team that's right here. This is Tana's video where he talks about and goes through the kits for Dark Beast, the data mine kits for him here. He's going to have the controller tag. He's going to be a villain character, being a part of that Dead Sea team. Where from what I can remember, he's going to have this clone mechanic where he can clone a primary target. So probably going to be a character that you're going to want to get some good red stars on. Hopefully we get a good event for Dark Beast. And then we know about the 2 reworks based on the data mine information. Psylocke and Magneto are also going to be getting some reworks here. So looking forward to getting some more information on that as the patch day goes live here. But some other things that we know too, right? So what was mentioned in that in-game mail is that there's going to be this campaign change, this campaign update. So we got this information last week here in the preview. Campaign hard difficulty, right? So get ready to take on the new hard difficulty for campaign missions, for a new challenge and new opportunities for rewards. In the next release, version 6.5, hard difficulty will be introduced for the first 2 chapters of the Heroes and the Villains campaign. Hard difficulty will grant different rewards than normal difficulty, offering a great opportunity to stock up on Teal Origin gear and other resources. They also talked about this is going to be an additional way for characters to be able to be farmable in Marvel Strike Force as well. So they talked about adding Phyla-Vell, also adding Wong, also adding Cersei. So I think this is actually good for the game. My only concern, honestly, is the fact that this is going to be gated behind getting to level 75. That is my only sort of gripe with it. Now, and that's the thing too, like, and it's also how hard are these nodes going to be, right? So that's the only thing that's my drawback. But I do think that this to me is a good thing for the game overall, because we do need a lot more places to be able to farm characters. We don't have enough right now, and that's probably what's killing the character farmability cadence right now, is that we don't have enough places to put characters. So I'm all for adding campaign nodes. I do think it's a little late, but I'm all for adding new campaign nodes so that characters can actually become more reliably farmable. I'm just not excited about the level 75 aspect of it, which then makes me kind of think, like, is there a way that they can speed up the track of players being able to get to level 75? But then, of course, not just speed up the track of players being able to get to level 75, but then also speed up the resources that they need in order to be able, once they get to level 75 as well, right? Like ability mats and gold and training mats and purple gear uniques. Like, they would also need to do that as well. So I don't know, like, I mean, I'm happy about it, but I'm also concerned, right? For players who are not level 75 yet, how long this may take for them to be able to get some of the important characters in MSF here. They also talked about costumes. These are two of the new costumes that I believe that we're going to be getting in 6.5 as well. This Namor one looks really good. The Iron Man one, I'm kind of like okay with it. It's just like looks like a sort of generic looking version of it. But looking forward to, you know, the Namor one whenever that drops. Namor not mentioned to be getting a rework here, so I guess we'll kind of hope for that in the future. But that's pretty much it in terms of what we're expecting here for patch 6.5. Let's talk about some other things that are going on in MSF for this week. So Iron Man Zombie is going to be coming to Marvel Strike Force. His event is also going to be this week as well. So his event's going to be called Trick or Treat, which is going to start on the 27th here. It's going to be Thursday of this week. There's a couple things to this, but before we even dive into this, it's like 3 phases of it. Before we dive into this though, this is worth mentioning. So they mentioned this here about Zombie Iron Man, along with offers leading up to and along with the offers leading up to and during the event. Trick or Treat will be your only opportunity to recruit Iron Man Zombie in 2022. After this time, his shards will remain 6 feet under until the next calendar year. So mark your calendars and devour as many of his shards as you possibly can. And then this was a picture that was taken here that was sent out that I got a capture of here, which is CM Archangel talking a little bit about this here. I believe it was on live on Twitch. He says, okay, so you wanted to know what is the difference about this release. We have established that normally there are offers right after the initial release. And with Zombie Iron Man, at the moment, there is no plan for his offers to come around till next year. So secondary offers, I believe. The other big deal is that he will not be in the basic, Ultimates, Mega, Premium orbs and available to buy with cores in his store. So he will only be available through his release event and then initial offer. So this event for Iron Man Zombie is going to be pretty big here. Let's actually dive into the phases and talk about this. So there's 3 phases, like I said, or 3 things to pay attention to. So first you have this Undead Genius Orb, which is going to have Iron Man shards, right? Zombie Iron Man shards. That's important to look at here. Then you're also going to have these party missions, these Trick or Treat and then Zombie party missions. So my understanding here is that there's going to be Trick or Treat missions, which are going to be 5 missions that you can do with any 5 characters on your roster. Then you have, which is going to be a way that you're going to be able to earn these Undead Genius Orbs. You're also going to be able to get gold and basic orb fragments. And they mentioned here that earning 3 stars in a mission unlocks auto win. So it looks like you're going to be able to farm these missions here once you're done doing them. And then after that, after the Trick or Treat missions, they have what's called the Zombie Party missions, which is essentially 4 additional missions that you will need to do here. But in order to be able to do those, you will need to build up your Zombie Iron Man in order to be able to do so. So build your Zombie Iron Man and then use which will require Iron Man Zombie and 4 other characters you're choosing to attempt these missions. And these are going to be pretty big. They mentioned here each mission gives 1 set of rewards, so you'll only have to complete each once. 3 of the missions reward the new fortified chromium unique piece. So yes, there's going to be a new unique piece here, which is going to be the unique piece for Zombie Iron Man, which is going to be called fortified chromium unique. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're doing this as best as you can to try to grab this. Not sure how hard these nodes are going to be, but if you're looking at like mission 4 here, It says augmented fortified chromium, level 4 ions, and then gear tier 17 bio mini uniques, right? So mission 4 is probably going to be a little challenging here. So I don't know how quickly players are going to be able to get ramped up with Zombie Iron Man to be able to do this event. There's also no chart on this event either, so you don't necessarily know like what you need to do in order to be able to do this. So hopefully that comes out soon so that players can start sort of planning towards being able to complete this event here. So very interesting, kind of unique. I feel like this is kind of like their event campaign character, Zombie Iron Man. This is kind of replacing like your typical event campaign, or maybe they are still doing an event campaign, but that's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. And then we have another event this week that's going to be going live. This one's going to be tonight though. Well, tomorrow, tonight for you when you're watching this video. I'm recording this the night before here. So Future Shock event. There's going to be an event called Midnight Haunt. So this is going to be an event here where you're going to be able to get the bits so that you can get the Elsa Bloodstone costume and also the Carnage costume. So if you actually jump into the game, I actually filtered this out a little bit earlier and took a look at what some of these costumes look like. So the Elsa costume is this one right here, which looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks kind of cool. Like, I don't know, I would like a little bit more color, but I get it. It's for the Werewolf by Night thing, but it looks kind of cool. I'm probably gonna stick to my original one though, or maybe I'll still grab it because I do already have the Carnage costume, which is also going to be a feature costume that you can use your bits on as well. So this is the Carnage costume that they're talking about that you can get the bits for, that you can also grab as well. All right, I'm losing my place here. There's also what's important too is in this milestone, this Midnight Haunt milestone, this is the last main milestone event for Future Shock, specifically like main event. There's other ways for you to get other additional points for it, but this is the last specific like main event that's going to be there for it. And this was going to include, this milestone is going to have the unstable molecule suit. Oh my goodness, I'm like losing my place here, right? So this unstable molecule suit is big because that one gives you 100,000 points towards the Future Shock event. So going to be very important to pay attention to this in order for you to be able to get that unstable molecule suit in this milestone for the Midnight Haunt event. You're going to need to get to milestone 20 in order to be able to do so. And the way that you get points for this milestone is that it's a blitz event, right? So win in blitz, 60 points. Win in blitz with Dark Hunters or Symbiotes, you get 30 points for that. And then spend one power core, you get 15 points per power core also. So I did some quick math, some toilet paper math on it here. We'll kind of break it down. So as you can see, so from the Midnight Haunt math, I wrote down all the stuff here. The points that you'll get for cores, right? So if you do your 200 cores per day, essentially over 7 days, you'll get 3,000 points, right? So 3,000 points over 7 days is going to give you a total. If you do 200 cores per day, that's going to give you a total of 3,000 points, and then 3,000 points over a period of 7 days is going to give you a total of 21,000 points, which means that if you're looking at the 68,200, if you subtract the 21,000 from that, that means that you will only need 47,200 more points from Blitz in order for you to be able to complete this milestone. Now, I'm going to shrink this back over here just so that it goes over to the right side so you guys can actually see this. I broke it down to like a baseline in terms of Blitz, right? So if you do 30 wins per Blitz rotation, that's going to give you a total of 1,800 points. If you use Dark Hunters and Symbiotes, which is 10 characters per Blitz, if you use them once, use those two teams at least once per Blitz rotation, then that's going to give you a total of 300 points for that Blitz rotation because it's 30 points per character. Then it's going to give you a total, if you add that up, it's going to give you a total here of 2,100 points. And when I did the numbers and broke it down, essentially you would need 22.47 Blitz rotations in order to be able to complete it, which is an average of 3.75 Blitz rotations a day for 6 days. Now, if you want to do more than just get that unstable molecule suit, let's say that you want to get the bits that you need for the costume, you need to get to milestone 22, which is a total of 80,500 points that you'll need. If you want to do that, then you will need to do an additional, basically an additional rotation per day, 4.68 rotations per day in order for you to be able to do that. If you're only getting 30 Blitz wins per rotation, keep in mind, I'm not calculating whether or not you're doing your refreshes on the symbiotes and your refreshes on the dark hunters, right? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the math if you're doing 35 blitz rotations per day. So it may be easier for you. I also did this over a 6-day period because usually it's even if it's a 7-day milestone, usually probably only do 6 days of blitzing anyways. So that's the reason why that's kind of broken down there. So hopefully this is helpful for you to be able to get through the event here, so that you can be successful through it. It's like the other stuff is okay. Like right now, if we even take like the stuff that you're getting for is like superior marrow extract, you're getting some other armory stuff. I mean, it's okay. Like, listen, free stuff is free stuff. I'm not going to complain about it here. If we're kind of tracking right now, like where we are for the future shock event with that unstable molecule suit piece, that's going to be a total of 100,000 points. So if you're looking at my numbers right now, that means that I'll get to 449,000. And I do think that we have events right now that are going on that will probably still, if you complete all of that stuff, like coordinated assault, all that, like if you complete everything, I still think that you're going to end up being like 13,000 points over or 15,000 points over. Like you're over like 10,000 points over. So I think that we're going to be okay because we also do have like a quick rumble blitz this Thursday. So there's a lot of other ways to be able to get points for this. I think overall, we're going to be fine moving forward to be able to complete this again. This week, once I get through milestone 40 here, I will most likely just do an orb opening video. I haven't opened up any of my orbs here for Spider Splicer orb. I haven't opened up any of these orbs. So I'll open those up later on this week. And we'll have a little quick powwow on it, right? So that's it. So let's transition here. Let's talk about a couple other things. Mostly stuff that went on last week. So a couple of things that happened last week here. So we got confirmation on Archangel being the next death or the fourth horseman, right, of the apocalypse. So pretty excited about this. I think a lot of players are. We're not excited about the mutant gear that we're gonna have to spend, but we're excited about the fact that it's Archangel, right? Our favorite horseman, one of the most popular horsemen, probably the most popular horseman, right? So a lot of us are very excited about Archangel. Once again, not excited about the mutant gear. And of course, we're believing as well, it wasn't confirmed, that Archangel is going to be leading the Dead Sea team here in Marvel Strike Force, which is supposed to be a mutant raid team. So that's a thing. This is going to be in version 6.6 though. So if you're thinking about, hey, Magneto, Psylocke, being a part of this Dead Sea team, and should I invest into those characters yet? You can probably hold off, honestly, until you actually get Archangel. I think this team won't perform as well really without having him there on the team anyway. So if you're looking at other things that you need to work on, and I'll probably go towards those other things and probably this table, maybe working on Magneto, Psylocke, and probably Dark Beast, right? Before trying to force yourself to work on Archangel. We also don't even know what his kit looks like yet too. So hopefully we'll be able to get some information on that as well before we move forward. But yeah, I mean, cool character, glad that happened. There's also this is also mentioned as well, which I think a lot of us have misinterpreted as something that we thought was going to happen, right? So they mentioned this in the quality life improvements, new retreat option in raids. Retreat ends a raid match without battle progress and no energy loss. So initially we thought no energy loss here meant that you'll be able to go into the raid matchup and then quit out. You wouldn't lose any energy. You'll be able to kind of just do multiple attempts over and over again. That is not what they mean here. What they essentially mean with this, they clarify this, is that you will be able to basically, instead of force quitting and closing the game out and then coming back in, this is going to replace that. You'll still lose the energy, but you won't have to close the game and then have to start all over again. That's what this is. That's what the retreat button is now that they're talking about. So it was a little bit of a buzzkill. I think this was probably the best thing for me in this update, second half 2022 update. But I mean, I guess it is better. It is more quality of life experience. So I guess I can't really hate on that portion of it too much. We also did get the milestone 3 orb as well in Marvel Strike Force last week too, and I wanted to talk about that really briefly before we kind of wrap this video up. So looking at some of the contents here of the milestone 3 orb, I think are actually pretty decent, right? So if I'm looking at this as a player that is gonna be earlier on in the game, I think this is actually a decent orb, right? You're getting, there's a couple characters here. There's like Beast, there's Mordo, who's a Dark Hunter character, right, who you can use. for the Scourge event. CM, you can make a case with A-Force. There's Cloak, although not Cloak and Dagger, although not really used that much in endgame for like super meaningful content. Still good characters there. The one thing that kind of bugged me was Emma. Like, man, can we make her farmable somewhere? I would like that. Maybe they're planning on doing that in the new hard difficulty campaigns. But you got Ghost Spider here, right? I think that's really good, I think. So Ghost Spider's there. There's Magic that's here. I know I just really like Magic. There's a couple good characters that I think are in this orb. Captain America Sam. Shang-Chi, although he has an orb that's there too. You can get some shards for him. So there's a couple good characters that I think that are in this orb here. I think it's a better orb overall than the Milestone 2 orb was. So glad that they made this change here. Would like to see Emma go somewhere else, but as it kind of is what it is, right? So that's pretty much it, guys, for this week on the weekly headliner update. What are your thoughts on all these things going on in the game right now? Are you looking forward to this patch 6.5 preview? 6.5, like, are you looking forward to that? I kind of am. What characters are you probably looking to invest into for this patch? Are you going Wakanda forever, or are you looking to invest here into Zombie Iron Man and Hela? I know I already got my Hela at G15, so building up Zombie Iron Man probably not gonna be that much of a strain. Although I'm pushing towards my War Dogs team a little bit more here where that's concerned. But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Much love, always appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. And until next time, guys, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe.